ਲੋ ਜੀ ਮਾਰਟਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੋਰੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਮਾਰਟਨ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ
Thank you, Paji. It's a pleasure to be back again.
Okay, thank you so much. And we were just hearing your voice, and you are telling us that NDP has promised that 407 will be all free,
Correct.
no toll charges.
Correct.
How it's going to be possible?
This is a long-standing promise that the New Democratic Party had. It began back with the provincial election 2022, and in 2022, what happened was at that time we made the promise to say commercial vehicles. We'll make it the 407 free for commercial vehicles immediately upon forming government. Since that time, the New Democratic Party has done more research, and we now know that not only can we make it free for commercial vehicles, we also can make it free for everybody. And what that is, that's in part making an investment from the provincial funds, but also it's important to realize that part of the 407, a significant part, is still owned by the provincial government. And so it's within our power to immediately take the tolls off that part of the 407 highway.
Okay, you must be knocking at the doors now, and you have already, I think, opened your campaign office?
Campaign office was open pretty much with the beginning of the election call back on Wednesday, 2 weeks back.
Yeah.
And we've been knocking on doors every single day, despite the cold and bad weather and the snowstorm that you mentioned earlier on the show that's coming for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been getting a fantastic response.
Okay. So far, what we are seeing is that people are not much interested in these elections. So we don't know yet. So far, things are going very slow, and you have started the campaign already. And how is the response? What we are listening from the public?
So there are a number of issues that they're concerned with in the public. So one of the issues we mentioned already, it's cost of living and also traffic and that sort of thing in Brampton. So the 407 addresses in part both of those issues. People are also very concerned about education, and the NDP has a 4-point strong education policy. Certainly, we're hearing about hospitals and healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
In Brampton, the big issue is that we were supposed to have shovels in the ground. That's what Doug Ford said by 2023. I don't know if you've driven past the site recently, Paji, but I have, and there's no shovels or anything happening there. And so we're without that hospital. We have more population now than Mississauga. Depending on how you measure it, they have 3 or 4 hospitals. And we only have one full-service hospital, so people are extremely upset by that. And then also they're very much concerned about crime, actually, and the fact that the Doug Ford government hasn't done anything to address the crime issues in Brampton over the past 7 years. And prior to them, the Liberals haven't done anything either.
Okay. The main logic he's giving us is that at this time when Donald Trump is adamant to put tariff, he said that he needs strong mandate. So that's why he has called elections so early.
Yeah, this is really, I mean, we don't want to call anybody a liar, but the situation that he has shared with us is simply not truthful. You're a media person. You follow the media very closely. You know that I follow the media very closely. Last week, when the initial set of broad tariffs were announced by Donald Trump and then later were put on hold for a matter of 30 days, it wasn't Doug Ford or any of the other premiers that went into the negotiating room to discuss this with Donald Trump. Even today, we have an announcement that it's the Prime Minister who's meeting with the Vice President in Paris on the sidelines of another conference to say the new aluminum and steel tariffs that are coming in, they're going to affect Hamilton so badly that you just mentioned previously on your show.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a discussion again between the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister's team, and the leadership in the United States. Doug Ford's role to play there is not as a leader. When he goes down to Washington, basically no one really listens to him because they know that he doesn't have the power to make anything happen. So tragically what happens is what's happened now, and people know this, we basically have an election for nothing. He had a majority, he had a majority before he called the election. Having another majority after doesn't change, the water on the beans in that particular case very much. And the taxpayer has to foot a bill of $200 million, which could have been used to get those shovels in the ground to get our hospital started here in Brampton.
Okay, thank you so much. Anything you want to add at the end? So Martin Singh is a NDP candidate from Brampton East. He has already opened his campaign office. He is knocking at the doors. So he's trying his best to reach out to you guys. Anything you want to add at the end?
Certainly. So you mentioned the campaign office. It's located at 4515 Ebenezer Road
Okay.
in Suite 208.
Okay.
We are open 7 days a week. We are canvassing on the doorstep 7 days a week. Doesn't matter how bad the weather is. We are out there making sure that we, earn the trust of the people. And that's in contrast to the current NPP from the Conservative Party, who's basically been absent for the past 2.5 years and also absent in this election. And in addition to that, we're visiting schools on 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, to engage people on their education concerns, like making sure we have proper funding for our schools, proper funding for staff, and also to make sure special needs kids get the opportunities that they require to build their education so that they can participate fully in society.
Wonderful. Martin, you want to give your phone number?
My personal phone number is 416-937-4166. That is my personal number, and I can share with everybody in Brampton East and elsewhere in the city of Brampton that I am committed to being your MPP and that you will be able to contact me directly.
416-937-4166 416-937-4166 Martin Singh da direct phone number hai. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you once again before the election.
Baji, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks a lot, Martin Singh.